572-9710 or WhatsApp 287-0971. Call the office at 572-0383 or 572-0215. Rev-Up St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Doctor in the House with Dr. Leonard Suraj, brought to you with the compliments of La Place Salaison Genou Cooperative Credit Union, Tapio Hospital and St. Lucia Planned Parenthood.
The St. Lucia Planned Parenthood is now at number 9 Grass Street, Castries. The same team you know, just a new space. If you need advice, testing, or support with your health, we are here to help. We are also introducing our SRH Bridge Clinic at South Louis Community College, connecting students to care for healthier choices and brighter futures. At our main clinic, we now offer long-acting contraceptives through the support and specialized training provided under the UNFPA BBE project. You can walk in, call 452-4335 or WhatsApp 722-1234 for more information. St. Lucia Planned Parenthood Association, promoting a positive approach to sexuality.
At Tapio Hospital, caring and competent obstetric consultants will see you safely from prenatal care through delivery with a team of excellent pediatric and anesthetic support. Tapio Hospital, where the patient's safety comes first.
Say hello to Genou Visa Debit Card. It's the convenient and secure way to access your money from your account at Genou. You can use your Genou Visa Debit Card in lots of ways and at millions of locations worldwide, in stores and online. You can use it to buy everyday things or withdraw from ATMs and make regular payments such as bills. It is easy to use. Simply tap and pay. Genou, we can move mountains for you. Powered by First National Bank.
It's delicious. La Place Salaison is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Place Salaison, of course. La Place Salaison, Castries, Groselet, Beaufort and Soufrière. It's delicious.
It's now time for Doctor in the House, live on Rev-Up St. Lucia 95.9 FM, hosted by Dr. Leonard Suraj. Dr. Suraj, a very good evening to you.
Good evening, Andre, and good evening, listeners, to this program. Today, the 25th of August, Tuesday. And basically today I've been talking a lot about things like hearing aid, hearing testing, and a few other things. Today I have been motivated by a few medical problems I have seen over the past week or so that wanted me to at least bring some awareness to the senses of people and to see how we can avoid these disasters. I'll be talking today primarily on the cancers of the head and neck. And there are quite a few of them. Basically, I say so because a lot of them are preventable, a lot of them can be picked up early, and a lot of them can avoid disastrous consequences. And what do I mean by cancers of the head and neck? Research in St. Lucia from other agencies like Globocan, which is an agency that looks into research in cancers. They said that for the year 2024, we had about 8 throat cancers, they call laryngeal cancers. Lips and mouth cancers, 3. And the back of the throat area, another 3. That's in 1 year. it may look small, but our population is small as well, comparatively speaking. And so these cancers usually can be picked up early. For example, I saw somebody with a cancer of the tongue. You would not believe that the tongue can have cancer.
But you said the lip a while ago.
Yeah, the lip can be. If you are exposed to radiation for a long time, then in some people you can develop it on the lip, especially the margin where the face meets the lip. That little watershed area can have cancer. Cancers of the skin are found more in people of Caucasian descent and who have been living in the country for a long time. It is thought that their skin is not so well prepared for the ultraviolet rays and the rays that we have. And you also find it in albino. So it seems as though the dark pigmentation have protection in it for these things. So you do find many cancers of the throat. Now, the cancer of the tongue itself is a very amazing organ in the sense that the tongue can move up, down, sideways. It has muscles everywhere. And if you want it to move forward, you just squeeze the back of it and it projects forward. And so it has muscles, and therefore a cancer in the tongue can spread on both sides very quick because the muscles run in all directions. And a cancer of the tongue, it may start as a little sore, and you think, maybe I bit my lip. But it seemed not to be getting better. And you say, maybe I'd use some salt water gargle. And then you use that for a while. And then you may decide, man, this is not getting better. Let me go and see a GP. Or I may have tried some home remedies not working. You try your GP and GP said, maybe it's a sore you have there, so they give you some antibiotics. It didn't work, so you say to yourself, I'm going back to that GP. Let him go somewhere else. Because the medicine he gave me didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
That's one error we are making. You have to go back to him. Because he might look at the problem more advanced. So you didn't go to him, you go to a new doctor. He looks at it and says, maybe that antibiotics didn't work because it was not the right one. So I give you another set. All this time, weeks upon weeks are going. The thing is getting bigger. So by the time when the doctor maybe realized that, look, that is serious. Now, the thing about tongue cancer, the sore may not be big. It may be just like a 1/4 inch in circle, in diameter. But if you feel it, if you press on the tongue, you feel there's a hardness deep inside of it. And so the doctors usually look at that and tell you whether it is serious or not. So the doctor would either send you to a specialist or decide to try some medication. But if you go to a specialist, then they would be more familiar with these cases and perhaps see it faster and so forth, and they begin treatment. Now, all cancers are staged into how advanced it is. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Cancers vary in terms of how they define the stages.
Sorry to disturb you, Dr. Suraj.
Yep.
Let's just go back to something you said a while ago in terms of the patient going to a general practitioner. Okay, and you made a very important point. You said that sometimes now this goes on for weeks, and that should have been checked a lot earlier, right, to avoid that progression. So let me ask you, what advice do you have for the listening public and the viewing public when it comes to those things? How do we know that we should go to a professional like you first? In those kinds of instances, I notice something strange on my lip that is not healing, strange on my tongue that's not healing. How do we know we're supposed to go see a specialist instead of a general practitioner?
Okay, good question. Now, there are some specialties that are easy to identify. You have a nose problem, you have an air problem, that's ENT specialist. But not all little things that the specialists that other doctors cannot deal with. So in terms of specialties, there are those that are easily identified, like an eye specialist, a gynecologist. You know who these people are. But you may decide that the problem you have may not be advanced enough to see a specialized person. And you have your doctor you're familiar with, you're comfortable with. You may go to him.
Mm-hmm.
So you may decide based on the geography of where your problem is, or in what part of your body is affected. You may use that and say, well, I need to go to that specialist. Most times you're right, sometimes you may be wrong. But remember that the general doctors would be the gatekeeper of medical problems. So if we practice in that way, where you go to your GP and the general practitioner looks at it and realizes that either it is beyond me to fix, or I don't really know what's going on there, I have tried what I know, so it is it is their duty to transfer. At that point, because when you study medicine, you also study a program that deals with almost all aspects of healthcare. And then you, a general doctor, so you would have limitations.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it is not because of you anything's wrong with you, just that the training.
Yes.
So therefore, you must know at what point to refer a patient. You must know several things. When to refer, if you're in hospital, when to discharge, if you're again in hospital, when to admit.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you another question then. What systems, do we have systems in place in St. Lucia where there are checks and balances? That somebody in authority, either the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association or somebody, is keeping track of those things through maybe monthly meetings, quarterly meetings, right, to ensure that the general practitioners, for example, are aware that they should be in a position to be humble enough to say, hey, this is beyond me. How do we keep track of those things to know that the general practitioners are doing exactly what you said there, which is to refer?
There's a hierarchy in all healthcare delivery, meaning that there's a chain of command. So the general, say in the hospital, you have a casualty doctor. There's the head of the casualty doctors who probably is more knowledgeable than the others. So when he or she has a problem, they call the boss. Now the boss is a casualty doctor. Now if he has any difficulty, he calls the specialist. So that chain of command exists.
Right.
You may tell...
yes, it exists. But I'm saying, what about the checks and balances to ensure that this is followed, that protocol is followed? And especially, I'm not talking about in a public hospital. I'm talking about a private setting.
Okay.
You know, you have a doctor, as you said, this is your doctor who you've been used to for how many years and so on, and this is the one you feel comfortable going to. And for the most part, that doctor has been doing a good job. But there's one now that is beyond him. What I'm saying, do we have any checks and balances to ensure that when the doctor, in fact, the doctor is sufficiently aware that he or she cannot handle this particular situation and not keep asking the patient to come back and give more medication,
right,
this sort of thing?
Okay. In that particular case, the doctors, whether it is the general body of doctors or each department, many of the departments have their monthly meeting. At that meeting, they would discuss difficult cases, problematic cases where errors may have been made or oversight may have been made, and how to correct it. So there is this ongoing education. And I must say that the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association has done a fantastic job into having these meetings. And you know why they do? That has promoted that. We used to have a medical Practitioners Act that was archaic, and once a doctor is qualified and is registered in St. Lucia, he's basically registered for life. He doesn't have to study anything to maintain his registration. I would say about 15 years ago, 10, 15 years, the medical council was formed, a new medical council. And with it comes checks and balances. In fact, the new medical regulation states that your license is valid for 2 years. Every 2 years, you must show that you have attended 40 hours of training, whether it is reviewing what you know, learning new skills, doing conferences and meetings, and there is almost always a meeting at SLMDA, and sometimes Tapion does it and invite the other doctors to share experiences. So these things do it.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear that. The reason I asked that question is because you said that the patient now will go to the general practitioner and they will seek another doctor.
Yeah, well, because the thinking is that this is what I have seen. They go to one doctor, that doctor didn't satisfy their expectation, they go to a next, they don't go back to the same one. And that's the mistake, because you go back to your doctor, tell him the medicine didn't work, and let him or her figure out what else to do.
Okay.
Because if everybody starts on page 1, you're not going to get anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get you.
So in terms of the cancer a cancer is formed when the cell, the skin or wherever it is, the tissue multiplies uncontrollably. You can't control it, it multiplies. Now, usually it is formed in the ENT cancers, usually in the mouth or in the nose, in the throat. Any of those have their special, and each cancer behave differently. There are some cancers of the skin that if you remove it with a few millimeter margin around it, move a slightly bigger piece than what's in there, it tends not to recur. Now what you do is to go and send it for testing, and they test the edge of where you cut and see if they see any cancer in the edge. And they would reassure you that there is no cancer.
By the way, when these things appear, either on the lip or on the tongue, is there any pain?
Sometimes pain is not a big issue there. And sometimes it might sting when you drink water, sting when you drink something acidic, and then you say maybe it's my sinus, or you may think maybe the thing is just bitter. But afterwards you realize that it's not going away. And that is the time, the cutoff point is 3 weeks. Although some authorities say 2 weeks. If you have a persistent sore throat for more than 2 weeks, then you must elevate your concern. If you have
the sore that you mentioned, the sore. If you have a sore that is not going away after about 2 weeks,
2 to 3 weeks, then you must find out why. Similarly, if you have hoarseness for more than 3 weeks, you must find out why. And the same would apply for if you have pain in your ear, because the way the body operates, the ear has nerves that it shares with other organs during the developmental stage of the embryo, 20 weeks, 25 weeks in your mother's womb. During that time, the nerve for the ear is shared with a nerve for the teeth, all the teeth, nerve for the joint, your jaw joint, and nerve for your tonsil. Any of these things that has a problem, you may feel an ear pain first. And so, therefore, you must not ignore an ear pain, especially an ear pain where the doctor looking at the ear can't find nothing wrong with the ear. So you have to look for the pain, the cause of the pain elsewhere. So with the tongue cancer, usually it's small, it starts as a small little lump or a small sore, and gradually it gets bigger, but it grows inside the tongue. So it infiltrates, and therefore it feels hard inside. It's not soft like how tongue's supposed to feel.
Mhm.
And so it grows inside, so you don't see it, and so say maybe nothing is happening. And then you might get an air pain, and then you might find that when you drink things, it stings, and then you go to your doctor. But the tongue cancer spread quick. In no time, it's in the glands, because most times when you hear people have glands, the body is full of lymph glands. There is a third system, apart from artery and vein, there's a lymphatic system, which have little glands and little nodes functioning normally. When something goes wrong with any part of the body, say you have a toe that is infected, you may get a gland in your groin, because the infection process from the toe, the battlefield in the toe where the bacteria is fighting the body, the inflammation travels to the glands.
Mhm.
So each part of the body has a few relay stations where glands are. And for the head and neck, just in the back of the mandible, in the cervical area they call it, these are loaded with glands, and they begin to swell. So when you see somebody with a growth or a sore in the tongue and has been there for a few weeks and not painful or anything, and you begin to see glands growing, that is a worrying sign.
Mhm.
Remember I was saying that there are several stages,
Yes.
4 stages. Stage 1 is when the growth, that's in general terms. Stage 1, early, the growth is confined to where it is.
Yes.
Stage 2, it's a little larger, but it has not gone beyond. Stage 3, it has gone beyond, but on the same side. Stage 4, it has crossed on the opposite side of the body. So it means that if you're going to do a radical surgery to remove it on one side, you really don't have enough. It's dangerous to do it on both sides. So once it has become on both sides, it's a little more complicated, and the results are not as favorable.
So you're suggesting or advising the listening and viewing public that if we have an issue, so the glands are
Right?
becoming swollen, things like that, and over extended period of time, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, is that the body saying, hey, giving you a sign that something is wrong?
Mhm. Specifically, and I'll reiterate it, 1, if you have a lump a gland in your neck or around your neck that is painless, not
Mhm.
painful. So in other words, it's not inflammation. If you have bleeding from your throat or wherever, or even your nose, then which is coming and going and not stopping, then that's a sign to worry. If you have pain in your ear, because as we said, the ear represents many other organs,
Mhm.
pain in your ear. If the voice is getting husky or hoarse, if you have difficulty swallowing, and there is no other reason you can think of for that, all these things are reason to get worried about, or
Mhm.
get it investigated further.
Do you think this is a natural part of the human body to give us those warning signs,
Well,
or just a natural deterioration at that time?
right, I'll tell you.
Mm.
So you have a cancer, you're starting with a cancer in your voice box.
Mm.
Usually it's on the inner border of the voice box. So the two cords that meet together to generate sound. At the slightest size of that saw, you begin to feel hoarse. That's the nature of that particular area. You will get signs of a cancer based on what it is interfering with or what it is impacting on as it grows. So, for example, you may find that you have a cancer in, say, a lymphoma. It can grow quite big. It's not pressing anything. It's not interfering with anything. It grows, so it can grow quite big without causing any other symptom. So a lot has to do in the body where this is located and what else it is interfering with that will give you a sign. So if it is in the nose and it begin to break the skin, then you get a nosebleed. And then so you know a nosebleed that you cannot explain should be investigated.
So let me ask you another very, very important question. So I have these symptoms over a 2-week period. I go to my general practitioner. He or she says to me, you need to go see a specialist. But I genuinely cannot afford to go see a specialist. What advice do you have for those people who can't afford to see a specialist?
Well, before you say can't afford, I think you are thinking of private sector. But the government has specialists as well. And they have, you can be referred to the government service and you pay next to nothing.
You mean at the public hospital?
Yep.
Okay. So in other words, if I can't afford to pay a private, I go to OKEU or some other public facility.
The path usually is, you don't have money, you go to the health center. The health center will take care of you, and there are some good doctors at the health center. They will take care of you, and if it is beyond their reach, at whatever, beyond their capability, they refer you to the hospital where the specialists reside or practice. And the government would have all the specialists that the private sector would have.
So what's the difference, Dr. Suraj? Why do some people then go to a private doctor? Why not just go to OKEU? Is it what the waiting time? That's part of it?
The waiting time.
Privacy.
And they think that they get more individualized attention because the private doctors don't have as much patience as public. And there is this perception also as if you're not being treated properly. I don't know to what extent that's true.
But must admit, a huge part of this issue there has to do with the waiting time.
Okay.
That's huge because sometimes your problem is serious, but it may present like a minor problem, like a tummy ache, for example. And you may have a serious issue there. So for some people, they don't like the wait.
Yeah.
Because it can be pretty long sometimes when you hear some of the stories.
Yeah, but during the course of time when I worked for government for about 30 years. And for 30 years, I was the only ENT. I was on call every day, every week, every month, every year.
Every weekend.
Whether I'm in the country or not.
Wow.
But it is a load that you...
Sorry, Dr. Suraj. Yeah. So you're neighboring Dominica and you're on call?
Well, you may not be on call, but they don't know and call you.
They don't know?
They don't know you're out.
Okay.
So you're on your holiday.
So they call you.
You take a week off.
Yes.
2 weeks off. You are in England. But nobody, people who don't know will call you. But once you know that your colleague has called you for a problem, you cannot say, well, I'm overseas, don't call me. You deal with it and tell them, well, by the way, I'm not on duty, I'm not even in the country. And you deal with it. So you are still at work, so to speak.
Yes.
But
especially in your case where you, as you said, you were the only ENT specialist over a long period of time.
So that can be the reason for the long wait. Although I had caught it quite a bit because what I found was that the number of patients, because if you have to see 40 patients in 4 hours, 10 patients an hour, it's like 5 minutes a patient. You just don't have... So what I used to do, I take a little longer. I see a few less. But I know those I see, I set up a path as to what would happen to them afterwards. Not a question of coming back. If I think you don't need to come back, I have to assess. Now, when you're going to discharge somebody from a clinic, it takes even more checks and balances because you know that if you lose that patient, you may be missing out on an important problem. So you have to be very careful when you're going to discharge them. So you go through the notes diligently and discharge those you can and give them an option to return if they have any problem. So that can, to some extent, shorten the clinic. But it is the long waiting list is an issue.
Yes. Okay, Dr. Suraj, we'll just have to take a little break. And when we come back, I guess you can open up the lines?
Yeah.
Okay, just remind our listeners as to what we're talking about today, Dr. Suraj.
We're talking basically about cancers of the head and neck, specifically looking at throat cancer, tongue cancer, and larynx cancer, voice box cancer, that kind of thing.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Suraj. So this is Doctor in the House, live on Rev-Up St. Lucia, brought to you with the compliments of La Place Salaison, Jeannot Cooperative Credit Union, Tapia Hospital, and St. Lucia Planned Parenthood.
The St. Lucia Planned Parenthood is now at number 9 Grass Street, Castries. The same team you know, just a new space. If you need advice, testing, or support with your health, we are here to help. We are also introducing our SRH Bridge Clinic at South Louis Community College, connecting students to care for healthier choices and brighter futures. At our main clinic, we now offer long-acting contraceptives through the support and specialized training provided under the UNFPA BBE project. You can walk in, call 452-4335 or WhatsApp 722-1234 for more information. St. Lucia Planned Parenthood Association, promoting a positive approach to sexuality.
Tapia Hospital Radiology Department offers 24-hour service. We provide you with X-ray, CT scans, and ultrasound imaging using the most modern equipment that produces the best images for your medical attention. Call the Radiology Unit at 459-2201. Tapia Hospital, where the patient's safety comes first.
Say hello to Jeannot Visa Debit Card. It's the convenient and secure way to access your money from your account at Jeannot. You can use your Jeannot Visa Debit Card in lots of ways and at millions of locations worldwide, in stores and online. You can use it to buy everyday things or withdraw from ATMs and make regular payments such as bills. It is easy to use. Simply tap and pay.
Jeannot, we can move mountains for you.
Powered by First National Bank.
It's delicious.
La Place Salaison is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork, sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Place Salaison, of course. La Place Salaison, Castries, Rosalie, Beaufort, and Soufriere.
It's delicious.
And this is Doctor in the House, live on Rev-Up St. Lucia with Dr. Leonard Suraj. Dr. Suraj, is back to you.
Thank you once again, Andre, and thank you listeners for staying on and listening to the program. We now at this point invite you to make your own contribution towards the program by calling the landline at 572-9710 or WhatsApp 287-0971. So we're looking forward to hearing from you to add some spice to the program and also to be able to tell us your experiences in the deliberations we are doing. Yeah, so the other interesting thing is what causes these cancers. As I said earlier on, most of them are they are preventable. I heard once written by a very prominent surgeon saying that he has yet to see somebody with a cancer of the mouth that has clean teeth and taking good care of themselves.
Interesting.
Yet to see that.
Interesting.
So even the hygiene that you think may not be necessary, the yearly cleaning of your teeth, the yearly inspection, because the tooth takes a long time to decay. And so 1 year visit is quite enough to ensure you capture any problem.
Yes.
And when the tooth decays, it may chip, and the sharp edge that is remaining can actually scrape the tongue over a period of years. And this chronic, long-term inflammation that it causes can actually turn it into cancer. So something as simple as brushing your teeth, taking care of it. So a lot has been said and written about the hygiene, not only about the decay, but even the tooth socket. The gum, you can get gum disease, and the gum disease has an inflammation and the bacteria. In fact, it's even said that these bacteria are intimately involved in your dementia. So you see, the thing is just floating around.
And can you transmit?
Yeah.
Or spread those issues dealing with the mouth and so on through like kissing and so on?
Unlikely, because if a few bacteria leaves one mouth into another, the body's immune system take care of that. So it is usually the unkept mouth. For example, somebody drinks alcohol and decide they're not going to brush their teeth. From the alcohol, they go and lie down. So that residual alcohol that is exposed to the skin in the mouth stays there for hours. And year over year it happens. It will soon cause a problem. And so that is how the chronic situation occurs. So you can get it from ill-fitting dentures, where the dentures is not properly fitted and shifts and begin to scrape the skin, the gum. And you can get it from alcohol consumption. You can get it from tobacco, all kinds of tobacco, whether it's electronic, cigarettes, cigars, pipes, you name it. You can still, the chronic irritation can still cause you to have. And the combination of smoking and drinking doubles the chance of you getting it. Sorry. So, and all these are preventable.
I'd just be curious to know, Dr. Suraj, in your interactions with patients and so on, if you ever had those interactions with somebody who was not taking their oral hygiene seriously to the point where eventually they could have developed some sort of cancer as a result of that. I'd just be curious to know why some people, don't seem to want to brush their teeth and so on, especially after you said you may have alcohol or some other thing, you know, maybe some sweets or whatever. Why is it? Is it just what? Do they share those things? Have you ever asked why is it that you're not taking care of your oral hygiene?
I think, see, you must never judge everybody by your own standards. And these people usually in their early upbringing, no emphasis has been placed on that. It's almost like you eat what you want, you drink what you want, you go and sleep the same way. You never, when they are in the 3rd, 4th year, insist that you brush your teeth before you go to bed.
Okay.
It's habit. Because I'm sure you will not be able to go and lie in bed after you eat without brushing your teeth.
Yes.
Something is wrong. You can't fall asleep. But if you're not in the habit of doing it, it's natural to you.
Yes.
And so all these habits are created in the first 4 or 5 years of the child's life.
And I guess that's where obviously you need to have vigilant parents who are monitoring those things and say,
That's right.
go brush your teeth, and until it becomes a habit.
Yeah, so even
the
though they
child.
fuss and think about brushing the teeth,
Initially.
by the time they grow big, it's natural.
Yes, they already have the habit of doing it.
Yeah.
I guess the same would apply taking regular showers and this sort of thing. Yeah.
And that's why I have my little quote saying that adopt good habits and make them your master. Because when you have created a habit, you don't have to negotiate whether you're going to do it or not.
Yes.
You just naturally do it.
Yes.
And so, but these habits are important. So when we're talking about prevention of cancer, and I've always said that behavioral modification is the way to go. So you can see the behavioral modification kicking in when in the young children, get them into good behavior, proper habits, etc., so that it is less burden on them when they grow big to decide, should I brush my teeth today? Should I not?
Yes. Just as you said, the habit is already there, so
Yeah.
you will do it.
It's very easy.
And of course, on the flip side of that, you don't have the habit, so you just don't bother.
You don't bother.
Yeah.
And you think it's quite natural whether you do it or not.
Yes, yes.
And so that is one of the areas where you can actually prevent.
Let me just give the numbers again.
Yeah.
Folks, the lines are open. You can call us at the fixed line 572-9710. 572-9710. That's the fixed line. Or the WhatsApp platform, it is 287-0971. WhatsApp is 287-0971. Again, the fixed line 572-9710 or WhatsApp 287-0971. This is Doctor in the House with Dr. Leonard Suraj until 7. It's 19 minutes to the hour.
Thank you. And say, I mentioned a while ago that cigarette, whatever form it, smoking, whatever form it takes, pipes, cigarettes, cigars, even the smokeless tobacco can cause cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the subject of alcohol, people think, well, a beer is not alcohol, or maybe wine is not alcohol, but just to give you the percentage, rum and whiskey and this kind of thing, usually they are 40% proof. Wines, about 11 to 15%, and beers would be about 5%. The famous Campari everybody drinks is about 35% alcohol.
Wow.
So, although a beer would carry less alcohol, but people tend to drink more, 3-4 beers, and so forth. So, but the alcohol do add up, and it complicates things because it can decrease your immune system and allow more things to happen.
Now, Dr. Suraj, maybe let me get your take on that. The what do you call exceptions to the rule? Okay, and I think I've heard a lot of people say that my grandfather, my father smoked for how many years, and he never had cancer. You hear those things?
Yeah, of course.
I think I was reading about Winston Churchill. He smoked up until I think his death, but I don't think he died from anything related to cancer of the throat or the tongue or anything. So there are always these instances, and people cite those as reason for continuing the habit.
Now, let me tell you what's at play there. What's at play there is anecdote, meaning a little story. The thing is, if to every 100 vehicle that crosses that roundabout there, one get into an accident, you will take that one and say, boy, all vehicles that pass there get into accident. But you're just quoting one out of 100 or maybe 1,000 that it happened to. And so that is how public opinion is developed on statistics that is totally way off.
Yes.
They make the exception the rule.
I understand exactly what you're saying. So
Yeah.
let's get back to that. You have a call. So you put on your headphones.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get back to that point.
Hello, good evening.
Hey, good evening, Andre. Good evening, Doc.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you.
How's everybody?
Yes, everybody is fine, and
Doing
thanks for visiting us.
Okay. Thanks for accepting my call.
All right.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Doc, you talk about cancer in the throat.
Yeah.
Talking about cancer in the... Now, remember, the throat has so many organs.
Yeah.
You have the gullet, esophagus, you have the thyroid, and which one is the most common, Doc?
Oh, the cancer of the throat, the larynx, the voice box.
Larynx.
Yeah, is
So not
the most common.
not the gullet.
No, the gullet. You see, the gullet is the one carrying the food down to the stomach. Okay, and it is not. It has several parts to it, but it's not as frequent as the other areas. I was going to. Yeah. So generally, generally the larynx, which is the voice box area, carries much more.
Okay.
And
Because I thought the gullet, the esophagus, to me, it involving more activity than the larynx. To me, it is the one I thought I would get them with faster.
No, well, remember, you breathing through your larynx all day, all night. the esophagus is in the back of the larynx, and it opens, receive the food, and transmit the food. The rest of the time, it's doing nothing.
So, but the larynx, doc, to me, apart from breathing, to me, nothing, no object, no, don't go there often.
No, the larynx, what goes there is the smoke. The smoke passes through from the mouth into the into the vocal cords and into the windpipe, in and out.
So, in smoking, doc, there's no way smoke can go through your gullet?
Well, some of the smoke you stays in the mucus and you swallow it. That little bit.
Oh.
And some people chew tobacco. So in some places they chew the tobacco, and that can give you a problem too.
That goes through the gullet.
Yeah. But
the reason why I say that,
yeah.
I have a friend. He never smoked, never drink, and yet he died of cancer in the throat. And is that genetic or?
No, well,
what
somebody can have secondary.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Some people can have secondary smoking. I know one particular lady. I diagnosed her with cancer of the throat many years ago, and she said she doesn't smoke. She never smoked, but her husband smokes. And so she said, I keep on telling him, go outside to smoke, go outside, and she died from cancer of the throat. So
yes.
Second-hand smoking and passive smoking can do that as well. Of course, there are some people who are in any of these categories and develop cancer of the throat. Because remember, there is the HPV virus, and that virus can actually attack the vocal cord and give you cancer of the voice box. So these are possible.
There's a friend of mine, we were talking one night, and he was telling me about his wife having cancer of the throat, or I think that's what he said. And I said to him, well, was she a smoker? He said, no. He said, I'm the one who smokes.
That must be a bad feeling.
Listen, the guy was in tears. When he was relaying that story to me, he was in tears. He was crying and feels as though he's the one that's responsible now for, due to the second-hand smoke?
Yeah. But I don't want to lose track of one of the things that you were saying, because it is a kind of public opinion, and that is, how is that my father smoked all this time and nothing happened to him? Again, I say that maybe the genes and the amount you smoke, you could be smoking every day but smoke 1 cigarette a day. And so that's less exposure than 10 cigarettes a day. So all these have to be factored into it. And maybe after smoking, he brushes teeth and do everything else properly. So there are more variants in it than just the smoke.
Understand. But what's your take on people who smoke tobacco and smoke marijuana? Not necessarily simultaneously, but at different times.
Yeah.
And because I've heard a lot of people say that it helps me to relax. I've heard that already. When they're going through their stress and so on. So what's your take on that? Smoking marijuana as well as smoking tobacco?
Tobacco. Well, neither of them are good. But however, I would say that research has shown that the combination of the two is the cause of a lot of the respiratory problem we have.
You mean COPD?
COPD.
So when you say the combination, meaning what they mix it?
I think they mix it, but I believe that if it can give you a problem when it's mixed, when you take it one after the other, then you should get some of that same effect. So
is that what is meant by the combination?
Yeah.
Or is it that the cigarettes, excuse my ignorance, is it that the cigarettes that come with both the tobacco and the marijuana?
Oh, I think they make these.
They make, so,
yeah,
okay.
they maybe they take out the cigarette, the tobacco from the cigarette, and mix the two and put the
into one.
Yeah,
one,
right.
Wow.
And they have and they do it back with a job.
So what is the thinking behind that?
Oh, it relaxes you and make you feel nice. Because the tobacco, I wonder, out of my naivety, I wonder why. I can understand you take a drink of alcohol, you feel merry, and you don't overuse it, and you feel nice and chirpy and talkative, and you open up. But what does cigarette do to you?
They said it relaxes them. So I guess only they can answer that and explain how that can be so.
Yeah, but you were not you were relaxed before you started, so you take the cigarette, it incorporates itself into your nervous system. Now when you leave it, you feel jittery and you take it to relax.
Yeah, yes.
So it causes the own reason why.
I understand what you're saying.
But that is the nature of it. It's a habit, and getting into it is fun. Getting out of it is a disaster.
Yes.
It's a problem. It can be very addictive.
As you said a while ago, about both good and bad habits. Once you've developed them, it kind of sticks with you.
Yeah.
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 So if it's a bad habit, it sticks with you.
It sticks with you,
A good one, it sticks with you.
And,
Wow.
And I think that part of rehabilitation should put a lot of emphasis on habit, reculturizing your habit,
Mm-hmm.
and so forth. So regarding the causes of that, I think also you have to look at human papillomavirus. Now the issue is about do you
Excuse me, Dr.
immunize
Suraj.
people? Huh?
Hold your thought. We have another call.
Oh. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Good evening.
Hello. Hello. Good evening, Doctor in the house and Andre.
Good evening to
Good
you.
evening.
How are you guys
Yes.
doing?
We are doing all right.
How about you and your son?
We're doing well, thank you
All right.
Okay.
for asking.
All right.
Um,
So what do you have
my
to share
mom-
with us today?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
My mom has a business where she cooks food on the firewood. So I was wondering, can that have a long-term effect on her, or is it not going to cause anything?
Good question.
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
All
Thank you.
right. Well, we'll explain to you. I think the firewood is the same as the smoke, and apart from the irritation of the smoke, the firewood has not been known to have any cancer-forming properties.
Mm-hmm.
It is true, wood can do that. For example, if you're doing cabinet, etc., and you're exposed and you are shaving wood all the time, the fine dust can actually some of the wood can cause cancer in the back of the nose. But that is the wood, not the burnt wood.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that there's anything apart from the local irritation. It can even maybe give you a chest infection if it is bad. But in terms of cancer formation, I'm not aware of any cancer developing from that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Yeah. And so the human papillomavirus we were talking about, it is...
By the way, sorry to disturb you.
Yeah.
So what about things like the barbecued chicken and so on?
Oh.
The barbecued meats and...
The barbecued meat is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Since we were talking about the wood, I didn't want to bring in that, but that's an appropriate time to bring it. What they have discovered is that hydrocarbon, which is tissue that has been burnt,
Mm-hmm.
it's called hydrocarbon, is carcinogenic. It has been associated with cancer of the throat, cancer of the bowel, and so forth. So I think that it is something that where our culture meets
Mm-hmm.
medicine,
Mm-hmm.
because we do a lot of roast, chicken roast.
Yes.
I mean,
But
that is
let me
almost
let me bring in the roast bake. What about that?
That's right. Not the bake. The bake is made from flour, and if it is burnt, it's burnt flour. But the other one is burnt meat.
Oh, okay. All right.
The burnt meat, which is had a hydrocarbon, it is irritant to the lining of the stomach and intestine.
You know, there's some restaurants that actually cater for customers who want the burnt bread.
Huh?
Yes, I've tasted it already, and I just have to spit it out because it tastes, to me, it tastes really yucky.
Yeah.
And there are people who come specifically for that. They love the taste.
Yeah. Because this would have been, if you're baking bread, those that are overcooked would be considered spoiled.
Right. But no. Some people actually
they're
want
highly
it.
sought after.
Yes, highly.
So it's amazing how, but I mean, I can understand people have different fetishes for different things like that. Yeah, but I don't want to lose track of the hydrocarbon because it is very prevalent in St. Lucia, the practice, and it is culturally ingrained in us. However, it has a potential of causing cancer of the mouth, cancer of the GI tract, the colon, and so forth. And why the colon? Because when you eat your food, it stays just a short while passing into the gullet. It sits in the stomach for about 4 hours or so, and it goes to the intestine. When it becomes semi-formed stool, and then when you get to the large intestine, all the water is extracted. It spends a long time in the large intestine, and the long exposure time for these irritants more likely to give you a bowel cancer. So it's the contact time, exposure, and irritant. So you have to understand the logics.
Yes.
And so that's how.
So what's the difference, Dr. Siraj, between the meat that is roasted and the flour? What makes the meat more dangerous?
Because see, the meat has nitrogen in it. Because in chemistry, the NH3 group is what forms protein. Because this is a burnt hydrocarbon. It's the burnt flesh that has that irritant to it, not the burnt bread. And certainly the research that was put out was on the burnt hydrocarbon, and whether it is chicken meat or pork or whatever it is. Yeah. And so that is, and of course, if it is pork, it has a high level of cholesterol as well, and that causes a different set of
problems.
So it is, but it does not mean you shouldn't eat your stuff. It's a question of moderation. You have to exercise moderation, do everything in limits. And so far we have not mentioned exercise. Exercise is always also good in assisting you in cancer prevention. The general fitness, you cannot overlook the importance of that in terms of fitness, etc. So in terms of investigating, what if somebody you suspect, say, has a nosebleed or have blocked ears, how do you investigate that? I'll give you a particular example. I had somebody man in the 70s, nosebleed, blocked air. Look at the air, there's nothing in the air, but it seems as though there's nothing in the air canal, but behind the drum has a little bit of fluid. You can see it by the texture of it. So somebody in the 70s, nosebleed off and on, not any profound nosebleed off and on, has a strange voice, almost like a nasal voice, and getting the occasional nosebleed and a semi-blocked air. This patient, when you begin to investigate, of course you do blood tests, you'll take a scope and look into the nose, see if you can see the bleeding, etc. And this person turned out to have a cancer in the back of the nose. The back of the nose, which, children have large adenoids, and these make them snore, make them sleep badly, etc. So it's almost like large adenoid is an adult, and the adenoid is not an innocent adenoid, it's a cancerous one, because adults shouldn't have adenoids. It grew and blocked the air from inside, and as it grew bigger, it began to cause a little bleeding. So I'm saying all that to tell you that there are little signs that you should not overlook, because you'd never associated a blocked air with that.
Yes.
Because the adenoid is next to the opening of the air tube in the inside. And so when I examine him, there's a special way you can take the scope, and a little mirror, an inverted mirror. Just imagine a little mirror like a half-inch size round mirror at the end of a spoon. So you put it in the mouth and you can see the back of the nose. You look at it and you see the tumor, and then you take a sample, cancer of nasopharynx. But the good thing about this cancer, they can be cured by radiation. So if you unfortunately have that one and pick it up early, then you may have a good chance.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see that we are approaching the end of our day again. Half of what I had to say, I had never got to say it, but but I hope that the listeners were able to learn something from today's discussion, etc. Well, thank you very much for listening, and next week, same time, we'll be back here.
Thank you, Dr. Suraj, especially for your service. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome, sir.
Yes. So you've been listening to and viewing Doctor in the House live on Rev-Up St. Lucia. Thanks for listening. Thanks for viewing. Until next week, Tuesday, same time, for another Doctor in the House from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Rev-Up St. Lucia. Don't forget, you can join me tomorrow morning, God willing, at 5 o'clock for Wake Up and Live. So Doctor in the House was brought to you with the compliments of La Place Salaison, Janou Cooperative Credit Union, Tapion Hospital, and St. Lucia Planned Parenthood.
The St. Lucia Planned Parenthood is now at number 9 Grass Street, Castries. The same team you know, just a new space. If you need advice, testing, or support with your health, we are here to help. We are also introducing our SRH Bridge Clinic at South Louis Community College, connecting students to care for healthier choices and brighter futures. At our main clinic, we now offer long-acting contraceptives through the support and specialized training provided under the UNFPA BBE project. You can walk in, call 452-4335, or WhatsApp 722-1234 for more information. St. Lucia Planned Parenthood Association, promoting a positive approach to sexuality.
Tapio Hospital's pharmacy is always well stocked to meet all your prescription and healthcare needs. We also offer specialty drugs for cancer patients and for various other medical conditions. Call our pharmacy at 459-2400. Tapio Hospital, where the patient safety comes first.
Say hello to Janou Visa Debit Card. It's the convenient and secure way to access your money from your account at Janou. You can use your Janou Visa Debit Card in lots of ways and at millions of locations worldwide, in stores and online. You can use it to buy everyday things or withdraw from ATMs and make regular payments such as bills. It is easy to use. Simply tap and pay.
Janou, we can no mountains for you.
Powered by First National Bank.
It's delicious.
La Place Salaison is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork, sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Place Salaison, of course. La Place Salaison, Castries, Groselet, Beaufort, and Soufrière.
It's delicious.
Rev-Up St. Lucia is located at Unit 4, Gablewoods Mall, Sunny Acres, Castries, St. Lucia. Tune in on 95.9 FM or online.